Good evening and welcome to the Broadcasting Lounge. We are at Silverstone for some HPR action. GT3s and GTPs on track together. GT3s are on track at the moment, finishing off their qualifying, and I'm joined in the Broadcasting Lounge tonight with Corey Kitchen. How are you, Corey?
No, I'm good. We're almost through another week with it Thursday, HPR. Here we are, round 3, and we're in. It seems to be a nice day in Great Britain.
Yeah, we're not getting the normal British weather. No rain tonight, so that's going to be nice consistent grip levels for the drivers, and we can see the details of where we are up on screen there now. So MRP HPR Series round 3 at Silverstone, and we're on the Arena Grand Prix configuration. It's 5.8 kilometre circuit sitting at 147 metres above sea level.
Yeah, she's a brilliant circuit. Definitely a place I've enjoyed racing, and it's changed a few times over the time I've been on the iRacing service. Of course, this is the newer version of the track.
Yeah, I think they edited or redesigned the layout for the, might have been 2011 or 2012 British Grand Prix, somewhere around that time. Um, Changed the location of the pit straight and added that infield section where you turn right off what is now known as the Hamilton Straight, obviously named after Sir Lewis Hamilton. So as I
Yeah,
mentioned, just finishing off the qualifying session for GTP, and we can get down trackside now. Stefan actually the only guy that's put a lap time in with a 142.7, although Jack Hintz just goes second with a 145.5. Louis still yet to get a time in as we get down to the dying stage of qualifying, but he just jumps up to second with a 145.51. We're starting to set the grid now. Leth Swinney's gone pole in GT3 from Brendan Leach joining us tonight. Um, he's joined us a few times, and he's obviously got a free morning over in Europe, so he's been able to jump on and go P2 to his good mate Leith. And Sean
yeah,
McNamara sitting third on the grid for GT3.
yeah. Mid-pack McNamara has moved toward the front. No pressure, Shorto.
Absolutely no pressure at all.
We'll have to pull him in for a hot lap, I reckon, tonight. Of
Sounds like
course,
a good
that's always
idea.
good fun, pulling somebody in. And of course, the last day of the month, and that means tomorrow, Shane, you're going to shave off your beard, and we're going to do Movember.
I'm not going to shave off my beard. Um, but it just so happens that on the weekend of, I think it's the 15th of November, so right smack bang in the middle of November, there happens to be the Fuji 8 hour running on the iRacing service. So I thought I might tie in my little move for Movember thing with that. So yeah, need to work out exactly how that's going to look, but
How many Ks is 8 hours of Fuji?
well, that's a good question.
Yeah, we'll have to work that out, and then work out maybe. That's good. Yeah, well, how many Ks should Shano have to do for the month of Movember for it to class as moving enough? Yeah, there's going to have to be some sweat in there. It's for a good cause, so you got to sweat it out a little bit, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. So checkered flag is out. Lou Robinson and Jack Hintz have just finished off their laps and pulled up. Jack Hintz has towed back to the pits. Louis taken a little bit longer to do so, but he has done that now, so that's quali done and dusted. Stefan McCartan will line up on pole for the GTP. Again, only 3 GTPs in tonight, which is a little bit disappointed. We'd like to see a few more of those. So if you're out there and you're keen to run some GTPs, get in touch and we'll look to get you added in as it ticks over to a 5 minute warm up. So obviously this is the MRP HPR series. We're very happy with the support we get from MRP. As I've just noticed a little something at the top of that overlay, and I'm gonna try and fix that now. But yeah, very happy with the support we get from MRP, and we've got a nice wee video that we can play in to see an example of some of the products you can get from MRP, and this is actually one where they've got everything combined into something where you can actually buy a turnkey simulator of them. So have a look at this. So that's a very good
If we didn't have the
example of the
Walmart,
sort of thing that
we wouldn't be able to
MRP
reconnect.
can do for you if you don't have access or don't have the knowledge to be able to know what to buy and what to do with it.
I understand your reasoning,
You can buy that
but
turnkey
meow.
simulator off them, and I believe if you're in the Auckland area, they will even have someone come to your house and put it all together for you, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And if you notice that more through the sim racing community, that the retailers now offer what you just said, coming to your home, and then also maintenance, making sure that you're looking after it. Because as you know, you don't look after it, it's going to fail on you. And it's almost impossible sometimes to get a replacement. But that's why you buy from Kiwi companies and like MRP. They look after you because they're here, they're Kiwis, they're making a living too, and yeah, we've got to support the local market, don't we?
Absolutely, and a good point you make about looking after your stuff as well, because obviously a lot of very sensitive parts on them. You get too much dust or pet hair into your potentiometers and load cells, and they stop working as they should. And quite often, once they stop working as they should, it's not just as simple as cleaning them out to get them back working again. So yeah, very important to make sure you're looking after things, and PCs obviously need a good air cleaning out once in a while to make sure that the air's flowing through them properly and you're not having dust settling on parts of the motherboard where you don't want them and shorting things out. That's all, yeah, all a lot of very expensive gear that it's important to make sure you're taking care of it in the right way. So those guys will help you with all of that as well if you don't quite know how to take care of it properly.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't practice what I preach here either. I'm absolutely terrible. I believe you may have seen it. I did post a picture of the inside of my PC a few months ago. It was giving me a bit of crap, and yeah, I've since given it a good clean, and it seems to be running pretty good. Fresh install of everything. I don't really need it for too much though these days. Just making sure that you guys can hear me. I don't sound like an absolute turkey.
That's right, and I do remember seeing those pictures, and it was quite there. Inside my PC is pretty immaculate at the moment, but that's because it's a brand new PC. I
Yeah, it's looking pretty good on there, out there, Shana.
I have ordered a little wee handheld air compressor off Temu so I can open it up on a regular occasion and make sure I clean it out. Just to keep it clean, because the old one, I'll be honest, that was a little bit dusty when I pulled it out of its corner and had a look at it, so that needs a good clean out before I sell it.
Yeah, the old PC, often left forgotten about in the corner. Just powering everything, just doing everything that you need it to do, until one day it goes, no, Shano, I'm not going to turn on today. I've had enough, I quit.
That's right. Or if in Sean's case, your GPU will go, no, you haven't cleaned me ever. I've got too much dust in me. I'm not going to run at a reasonable temperature.
Yeah, it's got gigabits running off the bottom of it.
Alright, so warm up is done, so we can have a quick look at the grid. So we can see there's Stephen McCartan on pole for GTP from Louis Robinson, Jack Hintz lining up in third there, and that's all the GTPs we've got. Leith Swinney taking pole in GT3 from Brendan Leach, Sean McNamara and Aaron Goodrick making up the second row. And we roll back there to Blake Greenhall, Quinn Wilson, Kristen Jenkins, Wayne Hartnell, Darren Lobb, Paul Blomqvist, Daniel Scholes. My name's there, but obviously I'm up here, so I'm not actually going to be out there.
Two
I wish I
places
could.
one time.
I wish I could multitask like that. So all these guys haven't actually managed to get a time in, so brutal off tracks around here, and actually it looks like with the number of cars on the grid that we might have actually already rolled through our whole field, but Tom McCall joined, hasn't got a time in, same with Jack McIntyre, new tonight, and Peter Vanderberg. I know Trent Bennett did leave, so he's not going to be racing, and Chris Zalewski, if he joins, will go off the back of the grid. So they're going to roll away behind the pace truck. We have got our picture-in-picture up and running tonight, and Corey, maybe you could follow our GT3 cars away while we have the GTPs up on the main screen. Well, they're all rolling off
Sounds
together
good to
anyway.
me. Looks like mine's not doing.
Are you live?
Yeah, no, I am now.
There we go.
Definitely wasn't live.
Alright, so Stefan McCartan has control of the field as he rolls through the final corner. Green flag is out and they're away. Stefan's going to lead them down in towards turn 1. There's a shunt at the back of the GT3 field, sorry. Looks like that was Thomas McCall going round, but Stefan McCartan leads the GTP field around and into the village section for the first time.
Yeah, Sean McNamara into the pits with a heavily damaged
Oh.
car. I might be able to have a look at what happened there.
After qualifying third as well, Sean McNamara into pits on lap 1. We see the replay there, just a pinch there into turn 1. Looked like Aaron Goodrick involved and just getting turned into another car.
Yeah, Darren Lobb, great start, up 6 spots. So he didn't qualify, so he's obviously started at the back somewhere in the GT3s. He's made a good start. Daniel Scholes also up 7 spots as well, and the GT3 just behind him as well. So obviously followed him up the road, I guess. Probably a good man to be following around, I guess. That's I reckon. Although there seemed to be a bit of distance between them. There goes that problem with my camera.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. So Stefan McCartan has got away to a good start in GTP, putting out a 2-second lead over Louis Robinson. Louis and Jack having a good wee battle here at the moment. Jack just half a second behind Louis.
Yeah, there's an interesting, good battle going on right at the front here of the GT3s as well. We've got Brendan Leach, Blake Greenhall, Darren Lobb and Daniel Scholes just jumping up on the back of these three here now. Of course, Blake Greenhall just turns up on race day and just hangs out up the front casually. Because I'd like to have those skills.
Wouldn't that be great? So Darren Lobb sitting just in behind Blake here at the moment.
Yeah, Mustang and a BMW there. What's Nico and he's on that Porsche. So good array of cars out there.
Yeah,
Now,
there
Leith
sure
Swinney,
is.
did you say he started on pole? Did he start out of pit lane?
Leith Swinney, yeah, he was on pole. I wonder if he was caught up. Was he the other car that was caught up in that drama between Sean McNamara and Aaron Goodrick.
Yeah, see, yeah, I've got him jumping to pits, but yeah, look, I'll try another replay here. See what we got. Leaf involved in that, so that was McNamara and Leaf. No Leaf there, have I? Yeah.
It looks like actually quite recently I've got some data on Leith jumping to pits, so we can... Oh, sorry, that's Leith leaving the pits. That's not going to tell us much. Let's try this one here. So that's gone straight to the blimp, which would suggest to me that he's probably had a disconnect there, I would say.
Right, yeah, no, that could be it. It could have, yeah, maybe that was on the grid.
Could have been, yeah. Oh, we're both looking at the same thing there. So Brendan Leach has just dropped behind Blake Greenhall as well. I have got a replay on that. Blake Greenhall passing Brendan Leach for P4. So down the Wellington Straight here, heading down towards Brooklands, and Darren had a sniff there as well, had a look around the inside, but Blake able to get the job on. Sorry, that was the Hangar Straight. I was completely wrong with the location of the track there, but yeah, nice wee move off the draft down the straight from Blake.
Yeah, it looked like Brendan had to do a bit of defence there too on lobby, so Blake's managed to get a wee bit of a gap. So that's out the back of the BMW there, looking back at Brendan Leach and Darren Lobb.
How cool to have a guy out on track that races GT3 cars for a living in real life as well.
Yeah, and he's jumped in the Mustang. Because he doesn't drive a Mustang, does he?
No, I believe he drives a Lamborghini in real life. The Lamborghini on iRacing is not the current model and not known for being one of the better GT3 cars on the grid, so I can understand why he hasn't chosen that one.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. When it came out, it was all the, was all the fun. I enjoyed giving that a bit of a home. I think I got myself a third place at Detroit in an official in GT3.
Nice. Oh, Brendan making a wee mistake there. Drops off the back of Blake and just has to deal with some pressure from Darren Lobb again. Quite surprised actually to see Darren just hitting a little bit of a roadblock with these guys. Hasn't been able to find his way past Brendan, and Blake's out there in the lead. Great drive from Blake so far.
So everybody's going to have to do a pit stop tonight, Shannon?
Yes, that's right, although I actually forgot to tell them that, so I hope they know.
Are they limited for fuel?
They are not limited for fuel in this one. Oh, no, sorry, I believe they... are they? I should have this answer. Yes, sorry, they are. They are limited for fuel in this one. The Enduros, they're not, but they would have to make a pit stop anyway. I believe it's potentially supposed to be 2 compulsory pit stops for this one, but they probably don't know that, so we'll let them have one, but they will need to make 1 pit stop, yes, for fuel.
The lobby gets it done around Brendan Leach there, as Shano was telling us that story. Not much change at the front, the GTP cars either. Stephen McCartan got a 9.4 second lead over Lou Robinson, who is in a bit of a close battle. Well, close-ish. No, he's not. Yes, he is. With Jack Hintz, they are reasonably close together.
Yeah, still sitting at half a second between these guys. Potentially Jack just quite comfortable to sit at that margin for the moment. Maybe try and look after his tyres a bit, save some fuel, and See if we can have a bit of a shorter pit stop than Louis.
Yeah, that's right. It's smart racing, but Lou happy with that win last week after Stefan, for some reason, parked up in the pits. I do believe he had a good excuse too. I did see him post somewhere that something happened, or I can't recall exactly.
Now you're making me want to go back and see if I can find that.
Yeah, a couple of messages there in the chat. So Chris Zalewski, he couldn't race tonight, PC issues, so Racecraft's car out. Yep, go PSR there from Pash PSR, and okay, it goes out there. He's 18. Shano is screaming Nico.
Yep,
And
I
yes,
sure am streaming. And yes, it is a new PC.
Yeah. Brand spanking, hasn't even got any dust from the corner yet.
Although I have to say, it's been quite eye-opening every time I just give the top air filter a little brush off, just how quickly dust does gather on that. So Jack Hint's still just sitting at that half a second behind Louis Robinson. And a pass going on down there in the picture-in-picture in the GT3 class.
Yeah, that's a pass. Darren Lobb gets around Blake Greenhall there for the lead, and Brendan Leach now right up into the mix again.
Yes, so Darren Love getting a move on now. He must have heard me talking about how I was surprised he was taking so long to get past them. He's put the hammer down, got around them, and looks like we're already going to see him extend a bit of a lead with 8/10 over Blake Greenhill already. But Brendan Leach getting the move done, has he? They're side by side. This is bringing Paul Blomqvist into the mix as well in behind. We know how quick Paul is in a GT3 car.
It wouldn't be Thursday night without the Marlboro car.
Absolutely. I don't think Paul got a quali lap in. He's showing up 6 spots, currently sitting in 7th, so he would have started 13th. And this is a very good little battle going on here at the moment. Blake Greenhall sitting 2nd from Brendan Leach, Paul Blomqvist just in behind Brendan and looking for a way past.
Yeah, sniffing for that mistake from one of these other boys and jumping at it. I reckon it's the go, and we know Brendan, he's just going to put in constant laps, isn't he? It's just what he does. Consistency that professional race drivers just put out lap after lap after lap.
Made a little mistake there though, just missed the apex a little bit through maggots, and that's got Paul right under his rear wing now, right on his diffuser. He'll get the draft down the hanger straight. He's going to pull out into Stowe, and he's going to get the job done. Meanwhile, we've got Stephen McCartan just catching these guys for the first time, making his way through, getting a bit tight there. Manages to do it cleanly though, but he's going to be on the outside through the final chicane section, but he does get through there, and then he'll cruise around Blake Greenhall and out onto the front straight.
Check on board here with Lobby. We'll see how quickly Stephen McCartan just goes around the outside. I'm not sure if what paint are you showing on Stefan's car?
Stefan's car, I've got a blue and red paint.
Alright, yeah, so I think it might drop trading paints to load that one.
Okay, I could try and fix that, but then we'll see all the cars go white momentarily, so I don't know if we want that.
No, no, not really. But it is there.
We got Blake's paint, that's the important thing.
Yeah, that's right. The Property Edge BMW, a cousin to the Property Edge Mustang. Well, that's GTP car number 1 around once. So that's lap 8. So, and at 13 minutes into the race. So we reckon he's going to get around another 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, probably another 3 times. Maybe 4.
Let's see the rest of the GTP field catching up to the front runners in the GT3 here now. And that gap there, you get to see it there. The gap from Darren Lobb back to these 3 now, out to what's now just over 3 seconds.
Yeah, sitting just on 3 seconds. So Jack Hintz has been caught out badly with the GT3 traffic. Got held up quite significantly behind that lead group. There's a rub on the bumper between Blake and Paul. I thought we were about to see Paul fly off to the side of the track, but just a wee rub, not enough to unload him. But yeah, so that wee hold up for Jack has just cost him quite a bit in terms of time. He's dropped back to 3 seconds behind Louis, where he was right on him before they caught the GT3 traffic.
It doesn't take them long, does it? And some tracks they seem to catch them faster than others, I guess too. Decent track with just over 2 minutes for the GT3s, and another 15, 16 odd seconds difference between Stefan's last and Darren Lobb's last lap.
Yeah, so Darren Lobb doing a 2:01.01 on his last lap, Stefan 1:44.5. So yeah, I guess a quarter of a minute on a 2-minute lap. So you'd have to do about 8 laps to catch him, and hey, guess what? Stefan caught the field on lap 8.
Yeah, maths was right on the money.
I was going to say, funny how maths works sometimes, isn't it?
It is. It's funny, definitely. Maths is. It's weird, isn't it? Numbers.
So Kristen Jenkins has had a crash, unfortunately, so we can go back and have a look at that. Oh, just losing it in Brooklands, and was that Paul that just squeezed past him, or was it might have been Quinn, I think. Wasn't that long ago in the race for it to be when Paul was a bit further back. It was quite recent, that one, so yeah, I think it was Quinn that had just picked his way around him there.
I reckon you do that TP updater, mate. You've got another car there that wasn't showing up too.
Alright.
You can go like an in car and I can do the out car or something while they all load.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Looking at Blake Greenhill, he's in a wee bit of a battle here, so Brendan Leach has got back up on the back of him. A little bit of defence now. Nabbed that last podium spot. Well, we're not even halfway through the race, so there's plenty to go. Anything can happen on the pit stop. So that definitely, pit stop came in with V8, didn't it, Shano?
Yeah, it did. I feel like you want me to tell more of the story, but I can't remember much from Tuesday. At this point, that was 2 days ago.
That's fair. No, but yeah, no, pit stop. Yeah, we found the undercar. Worked a treat the other night. So whether they come down the lane or not, well, they're going to have to reroute the fuel. So we've obviously got a few cars that have already been in that have had obviously a little bit of trouble at the start. But so still the same, Stefan Picardo, 20-second lead now over Lou Robinson, who's managed to get a 3.6-second lead out from Jack Hintz now in the other GTP. Darren Lobb though, 5 seconds. 5 seconds now lead over Paul Blomqvist, who's only 1.5 seconds ahead of these two on screen, who are still in a wee battle. Blake looks to have got himself a little bit further away now.
Yeah, just stretched that margin a little bit, but still just 6 tenths of a second. So not super comfortable by any means, but a little bit more comfortable than it was. Daniel Scholes getting very close to Quinn Wilson at the moment as well.
Yeah, that is the second of the Marlborough cars. Now Quinn up 1 spot too into 8. Daniel Scholes up 5 spots into 9.
Oh, Quinn a little bit deep there at the loop.
Yeah, just not wanting to give anything away, these guys.
Oh, and again Quinn running wide, so maybe struggling with a bit of understeer in that Mustang at the moment. And oh, as Daniel runs through the gravel in the Porsche, I was going to say understeer is never a problem you have in the Porsche, but apparently in the Cup car it is, and it can be in the GT3 as well, but my experience with the Porsche is it normally wants to turn a bit too much.
Yeah, I could never drive the Porsches. They throw me around.
Although to be fair, the new recently released model does seem to be quite a bit better, so yeah, potentially worth a go. But I was put off that quite badly with the Spa 24 Hour last year, where it was quite badly affected by gusty tailwinds at Blanchimont, the fast left-hander towards the end of the lap there, and every time we got the wind pushing under the rear wing, it would just loop in that corner.
Oh, you gotta hate the wind sometimes. Trying to ruin your good day, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Always good to be able to blame the elements and not take any responsibility on yourself too.
That's right. But I mean, if you're familiar with Spa in a GT3 car and familiar with the corner that I'm talking about, that very high speed left-hander at the end of the lap, generally in good conditions that's flat out in a GT3 car, which was the case about 70% of the time in that Porsche, and then randomly some laps it just wouldn't be flat out and the rear would be the first thing to go, and the only thing we could put it down to was that's where the wind happened to be coming from, was behind the car going into that corner, and it was gusting around a wee bit as well. And for anybody out there that's thinking, come on, it's a game, does the wind direction in the game really have that much of an impact? Yes, that's the level of simulation that iRacing put into the physics here. So no sim physics is ever going to be 100% like real life, even F1 teams struggle to simulate that accurately in their very high-tech simulators. But iRacing does go to very extreme lengths to get as close as possible to truly realistic physics.
Oh, and we see our first car coming down the lane. Brendan Leach is going to come in and take his allotted fuel.
Yeah, so just approaching that halfway mark now at 22 minutes, and he was sitting in behind Blake, and an interesting thing there you might have noticed on the timing tower, he had popped up to second when he came into the lane. Actually a shorter run to the pit entry line through the pits than what it is to go around on the track, because it cuts out so much of the track. Even though you have to get on that limiter quite early, you will get to where the pit limiter line kicks in before the guy you were racing gets there.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works, isn't it?
It is. And I sincerely hope that iRacing have a system in place to make sure that you can't come into the pits on the final lap to gain an advantage that way, because I believe the start-finish line is in a similar place to where that pit limit line is, so it is actually possible to come through there and get to the line sooner, but I do suspect that there's something in the iRacing code that would penalise you for doing that.
Yeah, surely. Oh, all these cars are fairly spread out.
Yeah, they are now. Blake and
Yeah, on
Brendan
screen.
was the closest battle we had on track, and with Brendan coming into the pits and getting some clean air, that just gives Blake a bit of clean air now as well. He'll see if he can put some good laps in. Strategy a little bit different in the GT3s compared to the V8s. You talked, Corey, about how with the V8s on Tuesday the undercut was a strong factor. That's not necessarily going to be so much the case in these cars, because the tyres that these cars run do hold on quite well. They can easily do the whole race on one set of tyres. So I would actually be, with this thing the race, I would be quite surprised to see anybody changing tyres. I don't know that they're going to get much of a gain from that, although if fuel is going to cover a couple of tyres, it might be worthwhile doing a couple, but then you've got a offset imbalance to deal with as well, which will slow you down initially, and probably won't give you that much time in the end. So potentially with Brendan coming to the pits to get some clean air and get out from behind Blake, that could mean that if Blake goes as long as the fuel tank will let him, get into the pits and top up, then that overcut can actually become a factor, and we might see that he's been able to pull out a bit of a gap just by keeping on running around on warm tyres. Even if Brendan hasn't changed tyres, they would have cooled down fractionally while he's sitting in the lane, and that will take them out of that optimal range as well, unless of course they were overheating and might have actually brought them back into the ideal range.
Yeah, that's some definite Larko talk there. Well, of course, maybe Sharko.
Well, I mean,
We
I,
just
I,
need you
I
with a
am
whiteboard and overalls on and a little
Sharko's
picture in picture.
Sharko might be quite appropriate, because I am pretty great in stature, and my last name is White.
Oh, the great white Sharko. Good stick, folks. I like it.
So Darren Lobb, no, Daniel Scholes. Where did I get Darren Lobb from there? Daniel Scholes sitting 11th at the moment. I don't even know why I clicked on him. But anyway, he's out there doing it, sitting 11th overall, 8th in GT3.
Yeah, possibly he's jumped to the pits. I've got him there, and he left pit lane.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's why I clicked on him, because he was in the pits. I am showing him entering the pit lane, but then, yeah, I'm also seeing jump to the pits. So let's have a look at that. Maybe he's missed his pit box, or... So he's had to reverse. Oh, that's strange. He went up on the jacks, disappeared, and then popped up in a, well, much better aligned position in his grid box. Quinn
That's
Wilson
interesting.
just making his way out of the pits as well. So a few people starting to come in now. Jack Hintz in GTP looks like the first of the GTP runners to take that stop. Sitting up on the jacks, so that would tell me he's doing tyres. These cars don't need to go up on the jacks if they're only doing fuel.
Yeah, something's happened to Paul Blomqvist there too. He's dropped 47 seconds back behind Blake Green.
Oh yeah, he hasn't pitted. here we go. I've got the data on this one. Paul Blomqvist. What's he done here? Just that rear end going around on him there, and then lights up the bag, so he's managed to quickly flick the traction control off to get it lit up and carry on, but that won't help those rear tyres. And then, yeah, hasn't lost too much in the air, got back going pretty quickly, but has dropped a couple of positions, so, or dropped one position to Blake Greenhill, but potentially that could become two once he pits if Brendan Leach gets ahead of him as well. Paul in the pits now, so where's Brendan currently coming through the final set of corners? Paul's still sitting there as Blake pulls away, so this is going to be an interesting rejoin as well, and Blake has pulled out a bit of a margin on him by the look of it, although still has to get up to speed, but here's the merge with Paul, and Brendan does come out ahead of Paul, so ultimately that spin cost him a couple of spots, and now, yeah, Blake 3 seconds over Brendan Leach, so we can have a look at pit stop times as well.
Yeah, race leader at GTP in the lane now too. I imagine Lou Robinson won't be too far behind.
So as we bring up the pit stop times there, so that actually tells the story right there. Blake Greenhill 18.6, Brendan Leach 21.8. So I suspect there, Blake's probably not done tyres, just taken the fuel that he needs and gone, where Brendan and Darren have potentially done probably 2 tyres in that time, I would say, and that just hasn't quite been covered by fuel, so that's held them up there a little bit. So now we get to see whether I'm right that there's not a lot of gain in changing tyres, or Brendan could prove me completely wrong and show me that there is a hell of a lot of gain in taking a couple of tyres and close that gap up to Blake. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out.
Yeah, what was Stefan McCartan's transit time right through the lane? Is it 20? Is that just their stop time?
That's their stop time, so this is pit lane time. Stefan McCartan 54.4 seconds through the lane.
Alright, so Lou Robinson is now in the lane, and we'll see how close he is to that. See it counting down. Jack Hintz, he is going to sail by Lou Robinson here. He has a decent gap there, and Lou was ahead of him by 3 seconds.
And Louis actually having a slightly faster pit lane time there as well, so potentially something else has gone on track there that we just missed.
Yep, that's standard.
Absolutely. Not seeing any crash or off track data for Louis.
Yeah, no, there's not a whole lot of data. Full stop. Got a Wayne Hartnell crash. Did we cover that off?
So Sean McNamara must have bailed after that lap 1 crash. So we're not going to be able to do that hot lap with him that we promised. Thanks, Sean.
Oh, Sean.
Should we call him Sean Brownie?
No, let's not go to that level. As we see Wayne Hartnell there at half speed, doing half of the Porsche loop.
So Brendan Leach has already taken about a second out of that gap to Blake Greenhill. I think so
Yeah.
far, Brendan proving me wrong. He's definitely showing better pace. Last lap for Blake, 202.7. Last lap for Brendan, 201.4. Although not as fast as his peak pace, but certainly Blake has dropped further off his own peak pace than what Brendan's dropped off against his. So, yeah, potentially. Oh no!
Like, good save.
Very good save. Goes on with it, but that's cost him about 2.5 seconds. He was around that 2 second margin from Blake and now it's sitting at 4.5. So that's going to be a lot of work that he's got to do, and not sure which two tyres have changed. I do believe he only changed two, but which two I'm not sure. If it was rears, he's already just taken a chunk of that tread depth off them.
Yeah, only 15 odd minutes to go as well.
Yeah,
This
we're
race
not.
is blowing by.
Yeah, we're not in enduro mode like we were last week, so let's not get caught out by that. It is significantly shorter than the hour 15-minute race we had last week. Just 50-minute sprint race tonight, and
Yeah, that's
yeah,
long enough to get the old palm sweaty. Mum
it
spaghetti.
is. Hopefully, there's no vomit on anybody's sweater already.
Yeah. Yeah, all
Although
I can
there
think about now is that.
there might be a little bit of vomit on Brendan's sweater after that moment there. And Paul, after his very similar moment in the first stint to what Brendan had in the second stint there, he's keen to make up lost ground, but still sitting at 7 seconds behind Brendan. So almost wondering if he's had another wee moment out there, but nothing showing on the data.
Right, nothing doing.
We can have a look at some of our other drivers who we haven't necessarily covered off tonight. I don't think I have covered off Christian actually tonight, or did we go to a replay with Amelia? I think we might have gone to a replay with Amelia, but anyway, he's running a mow on the front of his car as well, so getting behind the Movember cause.
Yeah, of course, the Movember, the weekly sponsor this week. Not that they're sponsoring us or anything, but we're pushing Movember this year. Shane is going to do 1 million laps over November.
Hang on, I do have a
would you have
job.
to raise for that? But that's a substantial amount of laps to do, I think.
It is.
And if someone was going to say, you know, like 20 cents a lap, you know.
I mean, maybe if it was, say, Bristol,
Oh,
15 seconds a
really?
lap.
Would you do that for that long? God, that would drive you nuts.
Well, for the right price, maybe, but it's got to be like I do have a job, so it's got to be something that's not going to take a 24/7 commitment all month.
Well, you can always bring it. You know, how much do they care about men's mental health? It works, but yeah, get them behind it. Like if you're, yeah, I'm gonna be getting rid of mine at midnight tonight, and tomorrow I'm gonna look like a late 30s man, hopefully. I'm just gonna go everything, get it all off. You know, I'll start fresh, and yeah, we'll get this disgusting mow going, which I'm gonna go to handlebars. You know, straight off the bat. I'm gonna there's no way I'm gonna just have the slug up the top.
Yeah, cool.
I've seen some interesting pictures come through. Good handlebars there from Dr. Death himself, and an interesting one in the chat. A Leon from Leon Weir, Elron von Shitlisher. That has haunted me for the last few days, I tell you, Shane.
You're not alone there.
You can't unsee it. And
No.
yeah. And I asked AI to make a song that went with it, and it just made it even weirder.
So Quinn Wilson currently sitting ninth. Well, ninth overall, 6th in GT3. my lifetime is not giving me class positions, so I have to remember to look at the timing screen on the stream to see the class positions.
Yeah, I've gotten used to that. I haven't got it set up that way, but I've only just now added in sectors so I can see who's doing fast times in what sector and qualifying.
Nice. I've got it set up for the class positions, but it just doesn't always seem to load it. But anyway, that is what it is. Daniel Scholes, aka Nico Scholes, currently sitting 7th in GT3. Out there in the Porsche, or Porsche. Every time I hear the Porsche debate, I just think of Joey.
Yeah.
It's Porsche!
How you doing?
I think Daniel's got a message for anybody behind him on where they can plant a kiss as well.
Oh, really?
Just as the camera pans around as he goes past, just watch what he's got on the back bumper there.
Here we go. Got some lips.
Yeah. I don't think we need to explain what the insinuation there is.
Oh, right. I get it now. Yeah, kiss my keister.
Jack just coming up to make his way by Daniel. And Daniel gives him plenty of room at that little kink, and to his own detriment as well, because he's just run off into the grass. I think Jack was quite happy to wait until the straight, and I think Daniel's even picked up a slowdown by going off there. So Wayne Hartnell, one of the Team West cars in the blue and white liveried Porsche, sitting in P8.
Yeah, just hanging in there. Roughly 25 seconds off the front runners, but that's only a decent trip to the fence away from getting around, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I see Stefan McCartan his quickest lap of the race there. So he's waited 24 laps into the race and done himself a 1:43. So that's mega. It's a quick time, so that's just over 2 seconds quicker than Jack Hintz's last time round as well.
Wow, that's crazy. Another Team West car, Thomas McCall in the Ferrari. Out there in P9 for GT3.
Yeah, this field is really spread out. The closest cars on track is Quinn Wilson and Nico Scholes, and that's just at around 3 seconds.
And Leith Swinney rounding out the field at the moment, 10th in GT3. So not the biggest turnout tonight. I guess the people that love this track really love it, and then you got people that aren't so keen on it. It's not a free track, so I guess for some people, especially if they're on the V8s, which don't run here that often, maybe not a track that some of our members would necessarily have a reason to buy outside of doing this race. But if you haven't got it, and you're thinking about buying it, it is a really good track. A very difficult track, but a very fun track to drive when you do get the hang of it.
Yeah, it'll be on the list for the V8s to be once a season. They'll come here probably. They obviously poll these tracks, so they all go into categories, and they put all the Aussie ones, so they get 2 seasons a year each. I think each track, but they try and have 4 Aussie, 3 or 4 Aussie tracks a season. I think they were going to try and do. The Bathurst coming up every season did get old. It happened a lot, right back at the start. But obviously, with more content coming as well, it makes it easier to branch out.
Yeah, we've got a few more Australasian tracks on the way. We're hoping we're going to see Pukekohe released in the next season build. along with the Gen 3 car, which the Gen 3 car is all but confirmed. No official word on Pukekohe yet, but it's been scanned well over a year ago, and it would make sense if they released it at the same time as the Gen 3.
Brendan Leach has had an accident again.
Oh,
See what's happened here.
just losing that rear again.
Yeah, we see Paul Blomqvist getting around.
So here's an interesting theory. I know there's a theory out there that if you do change just 2 tyres, that the best way to do that while minimising the balance offset is to do opposing corners. So if you do left rear, you might do your front right. And normally which rear you do is going to be the loaded side. So I wonder if Brendan's done this, because it's been a couple of left-handers where he's lost it. This track is a predominantly right-handed circuit, so the left hand would be the loaded side. So I wonder if he's done his left rear and his front right, and in the left-handers, the front's just gripping a lot more than the rear is, and that's why we're seeing him lose the rear on a couple of occasions in the left-handers there. It's only a theory.
It's all beyond me. That's real technical Sharko talk, that.
And now he's coming back into the pits, so maybe he's not happy with his tyres, wants to sort them out, and yeah, not ideal to be taking a stop, or potentially could be a drive-through. If he's had a few of those incidents, he might have ticked over that limit and having to take a tour of the lane.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we see Lee Robinson going to the outside and not having any luck getting around that Mustang.
And Brendan has just driven through the lane and come back out again, so that explains that one. He's gone over that incident limit and just had to take a bit of a scenic trip through the pit lane and get back out there.
Yeah, down Naughty Lane.
Haven't seen too much of Stefan McCartan, as is often the way when you got a guy a minute out the front. You don't normally focus too much on guys that have that much of a gap, but have to give him credit. He's absolutely rapid, and he always just keeps showing up and putting in these dominant performances. If there's anyone out there that thinks they're pretty handy in a GTP car and you might be able to give Stefan a run for his money, come along and join us next week. We need to make this more interesting. We need to make it a bit harder for Stefan, don't we?
Yeah, definitely, and grow a mo, do a Movember, and
Definitely.
come and support the team. So there will be a SuperCars NZ team set up. So anybody of the individuals that set up and do it, they can put their team down, and we can find so what the idea is. We're going to go up against the other communities. So we're Virtual Racing Aotearoa and Kiwi Sim Racing are both on board already. We've got their team pages up and already keen to get amongst it. And at the end of November, we'll have a mow-off, and decided how that race will be picked. And at the end of the race, you've got to go and shave whatever you've got there off, your mow, and we'll get the first person to post a picture of them cleanly shaven with a bit of paper saying the time and date. And they'll have to put that picture up into a certain place. We'll work that out closer to the time, but that's how we'll find the winner. So that's the mow off part of it, I guess. Sounds like fun though, doesn't it, Shane?
It does. Almost sounds like a reverse Le Mans start with shaving at the end of it.
Yeah, 100%. We could even have that some sort of everybody's got to start at their letterbox, run in, get in their rig and start the race or something. Of course, everybody's letterbox are going to be, different lengths away too, which you know, that comes down to geographically where you live and how you're living too, I suppose. But practice, you know, you might have a window. You could do a Dukes of Hazzard into anything's possible when you're got an imagination.
That's right. I do have a window right next to my sim, but I cannot imagine trying to Dukes of Hazzard through it and into my seat.
There's a challenge, part of Move for Movember. Get a little more agile.
Um, is it good for men's health if you break every bone in your body?
No, no, I no. I mean, wow. Yeah, nah. Not every bone. I mean, not even any bones, I suppose. But
So nearing the end of the 50-minute timer now. Darren Lobb currently out front in GTP. We'll just go back to Stefan and see where he's at. He's just started a new lap, so this will be the final lap for him.
yeah, as you said earlier, dominant performance. Over a minute lead of Jack Hintz, and Jack's got a 12.2 second lead over Lou Robinson.
Yeah, it's funny, when I was talking about the size of the gap when I clicked on him and saying how we haven't seen much of him, I did a little bit of a double take because for a moment it looked like 1.06 on the timing tower, and then I realised, hang on, we've lost the seconds, so we've lost the points of a second because it's out over a minute.
Yeah, so any of these cars that Stefan's passing now, it'll be their last lap, I'd say too, won't it?
Yes, it will. So once Stefan takes that checkered flag, everybody else the next time they cross the line, they will take the checkered flag as well. So Darren Lobb just about to start a new lap, so he is going to get one more.
Yeah, I think everybody else is behind him, so it wouldn't matter what he does, would it?
No, it wouldn't. Yeah, so he's just gone. We just saw him earlier going around Blake Greenhalgh, so Blake's on his final lap now. And
Yeah,
Stefan McCartan takes the win.
Yeah, flashy milk carter.
Absolutely dominant performance. Blake Greenhalgh comes across the line to claim P2 for GTP. And Paul Blomqvist isn't going to be far behind to round out the podium there. And then Brendan Leach coming through for P4. Kristen Jenkins P5. I think we're going to see Jack Hintz across the line next, or Daniel Scholes might get there before him. Oh, Daniel Scholes and Quinn Wilson have parked up. Is Quinn out of fuel? Jack Hintz does go past. So Jack's going to come around. Jack's going to come around and take P2. So not sure what's going on with Quinn and.
It's just mild entertainment.
Yeah, I think they're just having a wee expression session before they finish the race. Have they worked out that they've got nobody behind them that can actually pass them for position, so they're just doing a bit of an expression session. Louis Robinson has come across the line for P3 in GTP as well.
Yeah, Lobby just crosses the line, and that'll be him, I think. Like
Yep,
Greenhole
Lobby's
in the
done.
sand.
Sorry, I missed Lobby coming across the line there, unfortunately. I forgot that he hadn't actually finished yet. Wayne Hartnell has taken the checkered flag. Leith Swinney P7, Tom McCall P8, Daniel Scholes just coming towards the line now for P9, and they've finished their exhibition session. Quinn Wilson going to come home 10th. And that'll do. We can see the donuts going on there on the front straight. Lou Robinson doing a full cool down lap. Wayne Hartnell's still got the donuts going on. Burning up what's left of those Michelins. Actually no, I think the Pirelli's on the GT3.
What was the incident limit?
I think the answer
17 before a drive-through.
correct.
Quinn Wilson, well, because of the antics at the end, has near on got the disqualification. So we can't count that.
Is that what they were going for? They were trying to get disqualified.
Yeah, well, Daniel Scholes only just hit 21, so he's probably going to drop down the finishing list with some extra time without having to have taken his stop there. But Paul Blomqvist, Paul Blomqvist, also Brendan Leach, both going over as well. But we don't know what they did at the end of the race too as well. We know Brendan Leach did come through the lane, so 18 points for him.
Well, results from that race. Stefan McCartan taking a dominant win in GTP from Jack Hintz and Louis Robinson. Darren Lobb taking the win in GT3, followed by Blake Greenhill and Paul Blomqvist rounding out their podium. Then we have Brendan Leach, Kristen Jenkins, Wayne Hartnell and Leith Swinney rounding out the top 10 overall. And then down to Thomas McCall, Daniel Scholes and Quinn Wilson was the last of our finishes. Sean McNamara called it a night at turn 1 after getting caught up there. We've got Jack Hintz up in the waiting room. He's come home P2, so we can have a chat to Jack. And well done, mate, on finishing P2.
Thanks very much. It was a good race.
So Stefan was off up the road, but you had a good wee battle with Louis early in the race, and then just looked like strategy put you ahead of him in the end.
Yeah, having a really good battle, and then traffic happened, but that's to be expected. So changed the strategy a little bit, and seems to pay off.
Yeah, we did see you got caught out a little bit with some of that GT3 traffic and dropped back a wee bit, so good to be able to react to that and change up the strategy to get ahead. You must be happy with how that's panned out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty low risk race, really. I was just doing my thing and just see how it played out, and turned out it worked pretty well, so pretty happy with that.
Would be good to see some more numbers in the GTP class to make it a bit more interesting, put a bit more risk in some of those strategy calls, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely not last season.
You're gonna grow a mo for Movember, Jack?
I already have one.
Oh, we could whip it off, start again.
Oh, I don't think so, Tim.
Wow, maybe you could join Charlotte and do a certain amount of laps for Movember. What do you reckon?
Something to think about.
Yeah, join in. Like it's Move for Movember, so it's all part of the Movember. You don't have to shave off your glorious mo or your beard. I am. I'm gonna get rid of mine and maybe knock 12 years off me age at the same time. With any luck, fingers crossed, toes crossed. But yeah,
Any,
get amongst it. Anybody you want to shout out, mate? Well done on the podium. You weren't really going to be off it, were you?
No, pretty much. Shout out to the PSI guys, Safety First Tauranga, Stanmore Road Auto Parts, Race M Creative. Yeah.
Alright, good stuff. Well done again.
Cheers, mate.
And nobody else in the waiting room at the moment, but we do have a GT3 podium finisher down in the other room, so we can drag him up. Be lucky, P2, well done.
Oh, thank you, fellas. I don't know how we survived that one. There was a whole heap of talent behind us that I think they must have just run out of incident points or something and got a couple of drive-throughs, I think, saved the day on that one.
Yeah, well,
Once
Brendan
again,
Brendan had a couple of moments losing the rear after the pit stop, so I wondered if he made a bad choice on doing a couple of tyres and left him with a bit of an imbalance there, and yeah, had a couple of
Mm.
spins, and that did lead him to a drive-through. But you were out there, looking at your time. Did you do tyres?
No. I thought 50-minute race. I'll just push on, and because I knew those guys would be faster, so I thought I'll save a bit of time not doing tyres, and just hope that it pays off. Which I think it did in the end. I think it came out about 4 or 5 seconds ahead of Brendan, who'd pitted initially before me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had a good wee gap on him, and when we looked at the times, it was basically the pit stop time where you'd made that difference. So
Ah,
yeah, I
interesting.
did suspect that you'd made that call to not do tyres, where he'd probably done a couple of tyres that weren't quite covered by fuel. So yeah, that obviously paid off for you, and then yeah, it looked like he was struggling with the balance on only having done two tyres as well. So a good call in the end.
Yeah, it was certainly a good race. Anyway, that battling and racing hard at the start that was pretty intense from Brendan. But yeah, sort of settled down after that point, and then Paul obviously made his way through, and then had a bit of a spin, and yeah, I think it's lucky that those two got the drive-throughs. But we will take second place any day of the week.
We certainly enjoyed watching those early battles. It was a shame after the pit stop, everybody sort of spread out a little bit after the pit stops. And while we were teased with potentially a repeat of the battle between yourself and Brendan, he then made that mistake and dropped back, and
Mm.
didn't see a lot of exciting battles going on, unfortunately. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Anybody want to shout out tonight?
Oh, just again, the league. Shout out to SuperCars NZ, all the sponsors, all the admin that put in all their hard time and effort, and yeah, just encourage everyone out there that wants to give it a go, get stuck in and get a sim.
yes, yeah, that's right,
Absolutely.
Blakey. And once again, you just turn up on race day and find yourself on the podium. Well, mate, you're a tenace.
Thanks, boys.
And if you're not going to take the opportunity to shout out your own business, I'm going to say shout out the Property Edge.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, anyone out there needing help with commercial leases or project management or lease negotiation, finding a new commercial site, give us a bell. We'll hold your hand, walk you through it.
Is there any way I can make money? That's yeah, I need to make money.
We are looking for a promo girl, actually, mate. If you're interested,
I'm in. I'm in.
having a
Might
look
not
in a
look.
sort of short skirt and a tube top.
Well, depends how many beers you've had.
Quite enticing, yeah, depending how many beers.
I reckon once you shave the beard off, you'll be looking the part for that one, Corey.
I'll be a 10.
That shaved chest is all the rage at the moment, eh?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily a very hairy person, so yeah, I don't really have a hairy chest. For
Okay.
some reason, don't grow hair down around my ankles and my lower part of my legs. So it looks like I shaved them, but yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe just wearing that sort of sock for a long period of time and no hair grows here.
That's the one. The old sock trick.
Got to blame something.
Exactly.
Oh, well, cheers,
Now,
Blake, and well done again on P2.
Yeah, no, thank you, boys. Thank you very much. Hope you had a good call, and look forward to watching it back.
Awesome. Have a good one.
Bloody good. Thanks, boys. Cheers.
All right, so
no,
that'll just about do it for tonight. Yeah, as we've mentioned multiple times through the stream, we're pushing November for our weekly sponsor. That all officially kicks off tomorrow, so get in there. If you're gonna grow a mow, make sure you're clean shaven tonight for your fresh start, and yeah, keep us updated and get signed up on the website and all that. Make sure you join the Supercars NZ team so that we can have the mow off at the end of that. And then, yeah, thanks MRP for sponsoring the HPR Series. Big thanks to Napa for your support of the Broadcasting Lounge. Really appreciate your work, and thanks everybody for tuning in at home. And of course, thanks Corey for putting up with me tonight.
Yeah, and thanks iRacing for giving us this fine service. And thanks for letting me put up with you.
Alright, so we will be back on Tuesday with some V8 action. And that
Yeah.
is
Oh, where are
going
they?
to
Hang on.
be at Aragon.
Yeah, that's right. And so it's just a normal round for the V8s, I think, didn't it? 2 pit stops. The normal works.
I think it's another Enduro. It must be because there's only one race loaded on the Tuesday, so that would tell me it's an Enduro round. And yeah, confirming it is a 1 hour 30-minute race. So
Oh yeah, 90 mins.
that's going to be an interesting one. Newer track. I don't think I've actually raced on there at all yet in anything, and we've got an Enduro there, so I'm going to have to get some practice in. And then HPR Series returns on Thursday, heading to Brazil for Interlagos.
Oh
So we
cool.
will
Yeah.
catch you all back next week. Thank you for joining
Bye.
us.
Love you.